I was having one of those adult moments where you just flash back to a simpler time when life made sense. Waking up early in the morning on the weekends to watch the Fox Box, Fox Kids, PBS one Saturday morning. Be able to take the summer and just enjoy it with friends, go to camp, just chill at the house, watch every TV show, eat everything that you can get your hands on, go to the swimming pool, the park, not have to worry about bills, deadlines, alarm clocks, minus the one for school, and the list goes on. And I was just thinking, and again, I'm 25 years old. I was thinking how, at the end of the day, finishing college and getting your degree is kind of like becoming a Pokemon master in the games. Now, I know you're probably thinking that's probably one of the dumbest analogies ever, but if you really think about it, you know how it is after you not necessarily, and I'm talking, you don't necessarily have to complete the Pokédex, if you will, because technically, if you do, I believe you get some kind of like in-game certificate or whatever. I've never done it. I'm going to be honest. I'm 25. I've been playing since the games came out, but I think in the Pokemon Sun game, and just talking about the Alola Pokédex, I'm at 93%. I'm probably going to finish the Pokédex for the very first time in my life. And again, I'm not counting the National Dex. Bump that. That's way too hard. I'm talking about the in-game Pokédex. So I was just thinking that, when you finish, let's just go back to, let's say, Pokemon Red and Blue, before Gold and whatnot, where you have post-game stuff. Just imagine it. You have Pokemon Yellow. You have Pikachu. You beat your rival at the Elite Four, and you catch Mewtwo. That's it. All you can do is try to complete the Pokédex by trading with friends and defeating the Elite Four over and over again. That's life. You finish the goal. You are a child at 10 years old. You got your first Pokemon. You go out into the world. You finish high school. You get your first apartment. You live on a dorm on campus, and you go to university for like 4+ years, depending on what you're studying. You get the coveted degree. I mean, if you want to think about it, every class credit you get, every class you accomplish is pretty much like a gym badge. There's definitely more than 8. And then in order to get that final boss battle, you gotta get that. You gotta go to the competition. I mean, honestly, when you think about it, graduation or finishing up your last class is like getting that 8th coveted gym badge, the one that's going to put you in the league. That's pretty much real life when you think about it. You cross that stage at the ceremony. That doesn't mean you win the Pokemon League. That means, you just got access to go to the next level. The league conference, if you want to put it that way, or Victory Road, where you have to fight all those powerful trainers to get to where you want to be. That's a job interview, or the job market in general. You're going to be facing people who are just as skilled or even more skilled than you are. When you think about the Pokemon League, that's opponents who have gathered 8 badges just like you in order to get to where you want to be, in order to get to where you want to go, which is, again, defeating competition. You got to go against people who are just as qualified as you are, who are just as talented, but things like gender, ethnicity, their major, and the list goes on. That pretty much narrows the playing field. Now, in order to defeat the champion, or Mewtwo, if you will, that the boss or the person who interviews you, you got to put everything you got into it. And whether you win or lose, you just got to start over. Because at the end of the day, and again, this is just me talking here, I'm just thinking about it. At the end of the day, when you graduate, that's pretty much not an ending, but a new beginning. Just like in the anime, if you want to go that far. Every time Ash, loses a league or whatever, goes to another region, he thinks, oh wow, I got, all I can get out of the Sinnoh region. I guess I'm done. Oh no, there's another one you can actually take over. Not take over, but tackle. Try to discover. That's the Unova region, the Kalos region. There's always going to be another region of life that we have to conquer in some way or another. We're not going to win every battle we're faced. We will fight those people who use full restores and whatnot. But all that's to say, just keep your head up. And again, this is just me trying to be positive about it, because I'm in the same boat you are, at a job where it seems a bit dead end, or maybe not dead end, but you've pretty much grown as much as you can at your current position. You're at level 100. It seems like there's nowhere for you to go. But just know that at the end of the day, you can always, always jump on that Charizard and fly somewhere else. So all that's to say, being a Pokemon master in real life is not all of it's cracked up to be, because even when you think you done everything you can, there's always something else to do. I think even Bill talked about this in the episode, what was it, The Mystery at the Lighthouse? It was the episode where Ash caught Krabby, met Bill, the scientist or the researcher, and then that weird giant Dragonite showed up. I think he said at the end of the episode, that's the funny thing about the Pokemon world, is like the more, what is it? The more you know, the less you know, or something to that effect. Basically, he said, the more you think you know, the less it actually turns out you know. And that's regards to when you think that we discovered everything there is about Pokemon, there's an entire level or plateau we never even thought about. And again, this is way back in like the first 15 episodes of Pokemon where that was said. And you think about Kanto and how we went from like 151 to I think over 800. So I hope that this message inspires somebody out there, you know, especially if you look past the whole, oh wow, this is just a nerd talking about Pokemon. Just think about it. When you really think about it, I'm pretty sure there's some kind of TV show or anime or whatever franchise where you can relate it to real life, where you think you've accomplished everything that you have set out to do. That's where I am right now. I've done all the college stuff I wanted to do. I finished graduate school, but now it's the what's next kind of fact. You know, I have a cushy job, if you want to call it that. It's not like a long term, but at the same time, it's, you know, decent money. But I just want to get that. I'm like Ash Ketchum. I can't be in the same place forever. I want to get that next challenge. You know, I want to get that next rival to face, if you will. So with that being said, leave your comments and thoughts below. Do you have any kind of other, you know, funny analogies of something that you watch on the side, you know, a TV show that applies to real life, or you know, if you want to talk about your story, in what ways do you feel like you've reached the Indigo Plateau, but you feel like you've fallen flat because there's nothing left to accomplish?